Hey, what's up everybody? Josh here, and today, as promised, I'm going to show you the long version of creating the digital rain, the matrix code effect in Photoshop. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We're in Photoshop 2022, the latest, greatest version. And if you don't already have Adobe Photoshop, be sure to click the link in the description below. You can get a free trial so you can follow along. We're going to hit New File, and we're going to select a 19 by 1080 at 72 ppi canvas. Next thing we need to do is we need to change the color of our background. We want it to be black. So you could use the paint bucket tool, or because our canvas is pure white, we can just select the layer and hit Control I on our keyboard, and that will invert the color, which will be pure black. Next, we need a font that is going to be at least close to what it is in the film. Now, a lot of times people will create fonts inspired by film titles and that sort of thing, and there's no exception here. If you go to your favorite search engine and look for Matrix Code font, you'll find something like this, Matrix Code NFI. You'll notice that all the uppercase letters are normal English letters, and then below that, lowercase letters are actually matrix code, the symbols that are used as matrix code in the film. And because we're trying to make this as screen accurate as possible, this is the font we are going to use. So I will note that this is a demo font. It is available free for personal use, but if you do want to use it for commercial use, you do need to buy a license. So go ahead and download and install this font. Then we're going to go back into Photoshop, and we're going to select our vertical type tool. So on the toolbar here, if you click and hold, you're going to see these different type tool options. We're going to select vertical type tool. We're going to go up to our fonts, and we're going to select Matrix Code NFI, regular, and I'm going to use 84 point font just because I'm going to try and fill up the screen as quickly as possible. Since this is only an example, you can make the font as small as you want or as big as you want, just depends on what kind of effect you're going for. And then for the font color, I'm going to select 00FF00 as my hex code, which is a nice neon green. And with that, let's go ahead and click toward the top of our canvas, just anywhere. There is some dummy text that's going to be thrown in there, but I'm going to change that. So I'm just going to type some random numbers and letters to fill that up. And I'm going to Control A, select all. I'm going to make that just a tiny bit smaller, just so all of that fits. So 82 point font. And to commit, as they say in Photoshop, I can either hit this checkbox right here, or I can hit enter on my number pad if your keyboard has a number pad. So this is a good start. But to make this more screen accurate, we're going to need to do three things. First, we need to make this first symbol white. Second, it needs to all glow. And third, the tail on top here needs to fade out. So around here, it needs to be completely green, and then by the time we get to the end here, it needs to fade to black. So there are a couple different ways that you can accomplish all three of these things. The way I'm going to show you now is one of the simpler ones. So we're going to start by making the first symbol white. So just click and drag over that first symbol, go up to our color selector, and just drag the little circle up into the corner so that it's pure white. If you're wondering, the hex code is all Fs, just 6 Fs. So we're going to hit OK, hit enter again on that number pad, and we have our white symbol. Next, we want everything to glow. So I'm going to go over here to my layers. I'm going to click and drag my text layer all the way down to my new layer button, let go, and it's going to copy that layer. Next, I'm going to select the layer below that. I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. It's going to ask if I want to rasterize or convert to a smart object. I'm just going to convert it to a smart object. And I want this to be a radius of 10 pixels. And you can see over here, it's already looking pretty good. So I'm going to hit OK on that. Now, if you want this glow to be more intense, just grab that layer that's been blurred and duplicate it, and it will intensify that glow. Now I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that, because I think that's plenty of glow as is. Now, one of the reasons why I did it this way was because I wanted the green glow to match the green symbols and the white glow to match the white symbol, or vice versa. If we had done something like right-click, blending options, and hit outer glow, everything would have been glowing with the same color. So I'm going to cancel that. Next, we want it to fade to black at the tail here. So I'm going to select both of these layers. I'm going to hold Shift and click the blur layer. And I'm going to hit Control and E on my keyboard. And that's going to merge both of those layers. Now everything is rasterized now, so you're not going to be able to edit it. So just be aware of that. Next, I'm going to go down here to my mask tool, add a layer mask, and then with the layer mask selected, I'm going to go over, click and hold on my paint bucket tool and select gradient tool. And this is what you want to see. Up here where your colors are, go ahead and click on that. You want this to be black to white. So if you need to change that, you're going to double click the bottom color picker, make sure that's black, hit OK. Same thing over here, double click, make sure you've selected white, hit OK, and hit OK. And also make sure that the linear gradient is selected up here. So next what we're going to do is we're going to start at the top of our symbols. I'm going to hold Shift because that's going to allow us to draw a perfectly straight line. And then I'm going to click and drag about a third to half of the way down my line of symbols, and I'm going to let go. And that is pretty much what one line of Digital Rain looks like in the film. Now, in order to create an entire screen of these, if you want them to be all different, then you're going to have to go through and create a bunch of lines separately. So it is going to be very time consuming, especially if you want all of them to be slightly different. But using this one line of code, let me show you kind of what it would look like once you've created all those lines and duplicated them. So real quick, what I'm doing is I have auto select layer turned on, so whatever I click on is what layer is selected. And then I'm holding Alt, and then I'll click and drag, and it'll duplicate that layer for me. Let's continue. Okay, so even though these are all the exact same layer, just duplicated, that actually looks pretty cool. Now, if you want this to be a little more layered, what you could do is select all of these layers. So I'm going to select the top layer, scroll down to the bottom, and shift-click the bottom layer, and I'm going to drag these all to my folder button, and that's going to drop them all into one folder. So I want some code in the background that's a little transparent just to kind of fill in the black. So we're going to take that whole group and put it on the new layer, and that's going to duplicate it. And then we're going to take our bottom group there, and I'm just going to bump it over a little bit. So I'm going to hold Shift and hit the arrow keys. And what that does is it moves it over a little bit faster than just using the arrow keys by itself. So the arrow keys by itself is moving it, I don't know, probably like a pixel at a time. and holding shift, I want to say it moves it more like 10 pixels at a time. I could be wrong, but it does move it faster. So we're going to move it over just a little bit. I'm going to move it down as well so that it's not a perfect match. And then we're going to go to our opacity, and we're just going to bring that down. I'd say about 10%. That looks pretty good. And as soon as I have that where I want it, I'm actually going to merge all of the layers in this group. So with that folder selected, just hit Control and E again, and that'll merge all of those into one layer. And then I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur again, and this time we just want to blur it a little bit so that it's not distracting with what's in front. So maybe 3 looks pretty good. Hit OK, and I think I'm going to cut the opacity in half to 5. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So of course, if you wanted this to be a little more screen accurate, not look as, copy and pasted, you will want to change each and every one of those lines of code so that each one is unique. But these are the basics. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. That was the Digital Rain tutorial. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you liked about this tutorial, what you didn't like, if there are any tutorials you'd like to see in the future. And if you don't have Photoshop already, be sure to click the link in the description below. You can get a free trial of Photoshop. Again, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.